Dear listeners of Radio Evangelium Bamenda, we welcome you to the program Ladies Platform.
Ladies Platform.
We apologize that Margaret Ntelen, the producer and presenter of this program, is not around and ask me, Emilienne Wiming-Lafai, to continue until she returns. You will not bother to find out where she has gone to, but that's not very important anyway. Today, we shall be meeting a lady of substance, a writer, a motivational speaker, an actress, and a singer. She'll be telling us more about herself. Good day, lady.
Thank you. Good day. Pleased to meet you. My name is Vicky Ngamsha, and my artist name is Lady Bling. So, yes, that's who I am. I'm based in the UK, like you rightly said. I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm doing all sorts of things, but just to bring people together and empower people. And I was born and bred in Kian, the fruit of Kumbo Diocese, which I'm proud to say that all that I am today and all that I have is because I was lucky to be born and brought up in the Diocese of Kumbu in the days of Reverend Father Christopher Saka of blessed memory. When I was a youth, he made me who I am by training me to be the person I am today. He taught us with energy, and that's not it. I was somebody that happened to be constructed by different bricks. So I'm like a building from different sources, and I think if each and everyone come and take their brick, there will be no me. It wasn't all about the youth ministry. It wasn't all about Father Saka, whom I miss so much. It was also about an amazing father, a parent, and everything that just passed on, Reverend Father John Jingti Mburu, who brought me all the way from the United Kingdom, this time in Cameroon, to pay my last respect to him. Kumbo Diocese, in my time, brought up their young people, but Father Njingti stepped in when darkness came in my life, and he brought me out. He taught me how to be a person, how to multitask, because he does so many things. He taught me that even if life was so hard for me, I had a talent in me. So, Father Njingti, Father Cyprian Tata, who is somewhere in Jotin, and Sister Doris Kongla, who is here in Bamenda at Foncha Street, Lavena, these three people carried my burden together with their communities of sisters and priests, and that is why today I proudly can call myself a married woman, married to a Catholic permanent deacon, Reverend Ngamsha Maxwell, who lives with me in the UK, and I can proudly say I'm a mother of 4, and a motivational speaker, an artist, an actress, and soon becoming an author of my humble beginnings. And I'd like to leave you here. I don't know what you want to ask me, but yes, I think I've given you a general idea of who I am. Yes, I'm based in the United Kingdom. I do come out here a lot because home is home, and probably I'll tell you more as time goes on.
You mentioned something that you are the CEO or what?
Yes, I'm not only the CEO. I'm the CEO, and I'm the director, and I am also the proprietor of VVL Extended Hands. So I do lay my hands on a lot of things. Well, it was the work of Father Njingti. Rest in peace, my dad.
Yes, my
CEO. I'm the CEO for Rosa Vela Foundation. Rosa Vela Foundation, the reason I started with Rosa Vela Foundation, which is Cameroon-based, is a registered charitable organization. Headquarters is in Kian, in my home village, where I was born and bred, where my mom is buried. My dad is buried there, and everybody that know me knew as Kian girl before I got married to beautiful Kikaike after some time.
I see.
So, yes, CEO of Rosa Vela Foundation, the initiative was because my mother, who is Rosa Vela, whom I sing in songs today, I felt that as a woman, she went through a lot of torture that I could, as her last but one daughter, tell the world and keep her name going. My Roosevelt Foundation is out there to empower women to fight against poverty, to look at difficulties, problems within the community. And like the saying goes, Rome was not built in one day. I believe that when we started where we are today, there's so much happening within Banso with Roosevelt. Why I said to you, I'm not just CEO, I am also director, is because Roosevelt CIC is a UK registered company, and I'm working at the moment with the West Midlands Police. They contacted me and they want me to get into their program to fight against crime, drug, alcohol, and help the community, because they realize that even though I'm based in the UK, we can do much more with my story, my background as one of the poorest African girl who initially moved to the UK through marriage. Remember, only through marriage, because people of my type could not go to Europe.
Exactly.
So
we cannot make the funds to go there.
No, because this gentleman, the Reverend Deacon Maxwell, when he got there, he didn't look for SGO's child, governor's child. He came for poor me, and he married me happily. So the West Midlands Police, they are following my story, and the community in England, knowing that this is the story this girl is got, which is coming in the humble beginnings. So this company is going to do a lot within the British community as well. I do promote young talent. I do teach Ngamsha, a language that I'm very passionate about. I'm a proper
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, and there's a Facebook page which is Learn Vicky Ngamsha Ngamsha Tips. There's also a YouTube channel, so where I speak Ngamsha and translate for people to learn all over the world. So they know that I'm impacting the community and trying to bring younger people together, training them to become artists. There's a track by my daughter in Ngamsha, yo kai. So they know that the young people in England need that, and not just the young people, the older people. There is so much there. So Roosevelt CIC, the objectives as well is to liaise with the UK community and then tidy up things like the Kikaikelaki Library, which was books were donated by them. So it's hooking up with Roosevelt Foundation in Cameroon, which is legal, and Roosevelt Foundation in the United Kingdom, or Roosevelt CIC in the United Kingdom. Then see how we can build change a mentality. Is not about corruption. It's not about egoism. It's not about me, but it's about being capable to forgive, let the past go, and change lives. I'm also a business person. This is where VVL Extended Hands come in. VVL Extended Hands, which I'm the proprietor and founder, is my public speaking now. As you may know, public speakers write books, and to become a motivational speaker like me, you must have a story to tell the world that will inspire them. And fortunately or unfortunately, Vicky Ngamsha's story or motivational speaking is not because she studied so much that she can inspire people on how to become educated people or doctors. It's not because she's made so much money that she can drill people on how to become millionaires. It's simply because she started from very humble beginnings, and her humble beginnings tell about an African child, which she's very keen that there is somebody or some people out there that are still going through what she's going through. And then she's capable of saying, I forgive, I love my people. And then I can tell you that if I could make it, anyone can make it. Out in Europe, Vicky Ngamsha, when she gets on stage, she will be telling them, you've got so many opportunities. I'm not saying Cameroon has got nothing and Europe is better. No. What Vicky Ngamsha says is, Cameroon has their own problems. Europe has their own problems. Theirs could be crime and stabbing and so on. Cameroon could have children who are desperate, like Vicky Ngamsha was years back, to go to school. So she will not talk to them and say, grasp what you have, don't cry about gadgets like my kids. And then when she comes to Cameroon, she's like, get up, little ones, and think positively. Talk to people like Fadanjingti. I'm sure there's so many Fadanjingtis.
I'm just like, I should just let you keep talking.
I know.
It's so interesting. But I would like that we start from somewhere.
Tarori yenge pungiha. Nyamo. Siren Ruka. Puzaka. Abai Rosa Vela. Abai Yewon. Abai Yewon. Woye Fushimwa. Ayenge ben yenge. Dube for dream. Du konyam. Jimwi for Yewon. No we ta Yewon thing. Ta taron thing. Ta bamyem thing. Ta wonven thing. Ye tata sese awuni wongo you. Go mati mitari. Puni kichung.
Now, after getting that story, just a brief of that story of yours,
Yes.
I know that if we have to get into the story, people are going to shed tears, and people will want to like, who is this Vicky? Who is she? Let us get to know her better. But let us start from somewhere. Charity. When I hear charity, I want to know more better, because in Cameroon, we believe that when you come, we bring those things. You want to do out of what we have and take away and make your business with it. Now, you're talking charity and business.
Yes.
Let us begin from charity.
Beautiful. It's a very good question, and beliefs will be there, but it's how you journey. And you have to remember that people, not everybody will understand you. Genuinely, I love charities. And I like to give. I like to help my community. It's not pride that I get into Kumbu and see some people. I'm talking Kumbu because I'm still too little that I can't think of other places at the moment.
No, you're welcome.
My target
You're welcome
is
to
still Kumbu.
Zoplan.
Thank you. So the point is this. Charity to me is, when I talk this to the British people, I'm very honest. The way I feel in England today, as one very poor person who could not afford education, one person that witnessed her mom being lowered in the grave because she was called a witch, one person that comes from a family of 10 that 6 are dead, one person that a woman that literally could see a priest come and pick her up from the misery and then tell the mom, this child has a lot of qualities. So I'm not talking the talk here, it's the reality. Now, when I look at charities, my dream is like, what can I do? What's that drop in an ocean? So, back in the UK, what I would say to them is, I feel like a child who goes to carry water to come home and give the parents to drink. Not that Cameroon hasn't got water. Back in Cameroon, I would say to you out there, there are people here in my, even Kumbu, that live in mansions.
Yes.
And there are people that are absolutely poor.
Living in hurts.
Hurt. Now, when I go into the whole story of why these people are very poor and why some people are very rich, then we find a problem of a change of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Some very rich people absolutely give. And then the moment they start giving, the very poor people start saying, you are showing off.
Yes.
So now they are kind of led back because they don't know how to go about it.
Yes.
But some very wealthy people are like egoistic. It's mine. I don't care what is happening next door.
Sure.
But I strongly believe, you asked me a question about charities. I strongly believe that Cameroon do not need only money. Cameroon as a whole need a change of mentality. And that is why in 2016, after my library, which I brought to Kikakelaki community and giving to St. Francis Comprehensive Secondary School, which was my alma mater, another library, because in my language, I called the principal, I said, do you have a library in the school? She said, no. I said, okay, I'm going to give you a library because I've got books which are ready for this. After these libraries and things that I've done down in Mbonso, there's a VVL Extended Hands Women. And I must assure you that it doesn't always go smooth. There are some groups that I started in Kumbu that literally collapsed. Okay? There was a VVL Extended Hands Women group in Ver, which the demands got too high for me and they wanted it now, money. So you
That
let
is where
go
we always get
and
the
you
problem.
try again. So, but Mbonso is there. Kian has come up. And the Kian's initiative was, go to your roots, go to where you were born, get women, like my mother was a woman, get women and remind them that as I spoke to them, other women. There are women who are still accused as witches at anything. There are women whose voice is suppressed. There are women that their place is a kitchen. There are women that like to help themselves and their children, and they cannot do anything. So the women empowerment now came under Rosa Vela, who is my mother, who I saw, like I sing in my song, Yewo Yenge Punge. She suffered and died of poverty. And I want the women of Rosa Vela Foundation, Kian, to feel empowered by the fertilizer project we've just done. They now have their office. There's an employer sat there who that woman at least get a little salary. So my dream is within charities, within the next couple of years, all those women, because I'm talking to them. I've got staff working with them. I want to work on their change of mentality.
Okay, you want to begin by empowering them.
Empowering them and changing their mentality is very important. Because when I started with my women in Kian, some will go like, oh, what does she come with from Europe? So you will know, out of 150 women, I do know that some are thinking, what can I get and go? But some are sinking down now because they're thinking, actually, she's building up something. During the Labor Day, 1st May, I told them to go wear their t-shirts and go and march. You are women, you are beautiful women. And then straight away some said, give us transport to leave Squares and go to march. And I said, I'm not giving you transport because I want to empower you. And I cannot feed you. I'm sure you can get a taxi fare to Tobin. And they did. And at the end, they sent testimonials like they've never imagined that it was beautiful. So empowering them, yes, that is still charity. Working on their minds and making sure that by the time I develop to what I won't say here today, because I know exactly what I'm working on. By the time I get to that, you will always get people, negatively driven people who go like, what is that girl doing? What does she want to show? Exactly. And this is where the rich man now, who is not strong enough like me, will just give up. So, but for me, I pray to God every day and I say to myself, no matter how hard you hit me, I'm not looking at the Cameroon government. I'm not looking at the rich people. I'm looking at those people that are sitting where I was. I'm looking at a woman who could change her life and run a little shop or work somewhere and do something for themselves. Charity is very vast for me. I need 3 days to tell you about charity. But yes, Rosa Vela Foundation, Empowering Women is there. Rosa Vela in England. But as we speak, I threw a challenge to the women because I want them to get active, to keep going. So, yes, I said to them, this was not charity. I said, Vicky Ngamsha is a business. I have a shop
the difference between business and charity.
I have a shop in St. Augustine Junction. Which
that's
I
my alma mater.
Really? So I bring books. I mean, not books. I bring stuff from the UK. Let me describe one of my products in my shop. When we growing up in Kumbu, I don't know if it's changed now because I've been out for over 16 years. I just come and go. But when we growing up, if you see what happened in a typical family, this is business I'm talking about, but I want to let you understand, or the people, community, understand how my own mentality of business is. We use savon, right? I mean, decent families will have locks. Is that locks at Imperial Leather where they wash
used
their
to have
body?
in those days.
Good. Now, they will have bedding soap. But if you think of where the savon goes, you wash dishes with them. You take it to the bathroom. You wash yourself. Then you wash clothes with. There's that transition of whatever from food to everything. In the United Kingdom, when I was lucky to get there, I realized that there is what they call shower gel. So a British man, some will use a tablet of bathing soap, but shower gel is quite nice, slippery. You can wash your body. So I decided to introduce that in my shop, and then got some people, some journalists who could work with me to explain and said, rather than take the particular soap, you can actually buy this affordable prices, and you can start using that for long. So products like that. So I'm not just picking any product. I'm looking at what will help for the health of our people, and what will also bring change. If it's nice, why don't you bring it home? So by bringing it home as a business, I will now employ staff in my shop. When staff work there, they've already got employment. The lady working for me is on a salary. Another one is on a salary. And another one is come up. So it's like bringing them employability and improving the economy of our land.
Good.
But alongside the shop, there is also a bridal rental shop, Vicky Ngamsha bridal rental
I will
shop.
have some of us who want to get married.
In 2015, when I came over for my sister-in-law's wedding, I was going around Kumbo looking for a bride's clothes. I found so far 3.
They were decent.
Yes. In England, they are everywhere. You get them. You even go somewhere and have hundreds of them.
And you'll be placed with the problem of choice.
Exactly. Why can't Kumbo if England can do it? That was my vision. I actually developed that initiative there and then I started my bridal rental. I'm developing it. It's active now. It's got stuff. It's got bridesmaid clothes, and I'm building it gradually. Now, I'm bringing you back to why I'm talking about business and charities and how I can separate charity from business. Rosa Vela has got a website now. So Rosa Vela CIC UK and Rosa Vela Foundation is my charity. VVL Extended Hands now carries the musician, the acting, the book coming because I will sell my book obviously, and it will also carry my shops. That is business. So when I came to the women of Kian now with this as a businesswoman, separating this because as VVL Extended Hands, all of this is how I feed my own children. In the UK, I speak, I go singing, the money I make, I bring it home because as a person, you bring some food to the table. I now said to the women of Kumbo, I said to my coordinator, Patrick Ndremnia and Gloria Ngong, and there's the guy working with them as well, Lambert. He's doing a great job at the moment. And I said to them, I need you to put a message out there. I want women to register. I'm going to release Vicky Ngamsha Cup. Remember, this is not Rosa Vela Cup.
That's really empowerment.
Yes, it's Vicky Ngamsha football, women football competition 2016.
Bringing them together, unity.
I got amazed at how many women came up. They've been kicking the ball like men. I mean my mothers. So it's all exciting. The amount I was going to put in the football cup, I just told my husband, this is getting so exciting. Yeah. So I'm looking at building that up to a much more reasonable amount, bigger than I thought, so that any group that competes will at least take, because there are mothers. So I met a woman in Kikai yesterday. She was running. She said, Vicky, stop, my daughter. I said, and then she turned to me and she said, you see what you've done? I said, Mama, what have I done? See, now I kick one penalty and my foot is broken. So it was really exciting to see her, and the joy in her face was like, my daughter, thank you so much. We have something doing and we're loving it. That is the spirit. So when you talk charity and business, as far as Vicky Ngamsha is concerned, that is the way I look at it. Rosa Vela should be able to maintain charity figures clear and clean and cut. If donations have come in the UK for Rosa Vela, like the library, then they are meant for Rosa Vela. They are not meant for my shop. And sometimes my shop or Vicky Ngamsha, who is a business, can sponsor Rosa Vela if she can, or she can get other businesses. So I think at that point you can now begin to realize that there are different things there. So VVL Extended Hands has www.vickingamsha.com. That is my business.
That's how we can get to you.
And then Rosa Vela Foundation has www.rosavela.com. So there are 2 websites, which I'm the CEO of the Cameroon Rosa Vela, working with a team of directors and managers, and I'm the director of the one in the UK. There are 3 directors. I have Fadimatu, who is a child of Ndrenji, and I also have Alan, somebody born and bred in the UK. He's a British guy. So we are working together. We have a patron who is one bishop, Bishop Paul of one of the churches. He offered to act as a patron. So we have got a team already building out there, and our strategy now is to transport stuff that can transform lives and not just material, because when you talk charity, people think, what can I get out of there, isn't it? And then it's like, let me have mine and go, I don't care. So we're working on before you receive from us, be aware that we encourage you to share with another person so that the rich do not become richer and the poor becomes poorer. We want that equality and want people in Rosavella Foundation or Rosavella CIC to realize that you do not necessarily need to have before you can give. My first library that I did in Kikaikelaki, I had no money till the last minute. I just started collecting books. I wasn't even legally registered as a charity in the UK. So I was asking for unwanted books under my kids' bed, downstairs. When you walk in my house, there was books everywhere. And of course, my husband started saying, why are you collecting these books? How are they going to get to Kumbu? But I believe that where there is a will, there's a way. In the end, it was a struggle. A few people supported me. Some other people stepped back and said, what does she think she wants to do? This is not going to work. Who is this girl that she's thinking to do whatever? But I didn't pay any attention to that. All I said to myself was that I knew that from my heart of heart, in that 2014, I needed to plant a library in Kikaikelaki, and it happened. So, charity, yes, I'm still on. I won't release what I have at the moment.
Okay.
But business, I go singing, I go publishing my book and everything, but yes.
Thank you very much, Ngamsha. You've been talking about charity and business and making us to understand the change of mentality and empowering women out there. I just hope that the women groups in Bamenda, especially the SOT women groups, they are listening to us and they have taken down the website and they are going to go to it and try to see how they can link on with Vicky Ngamsha and see how they can make lives better for those of us who cannot afford. And dear listeners of Radio Evangelium Bamenda, this is Ladies Platform. It is with Vicky Ngamsha. We are going to have a bar of music. When we do come back, we'll be talking about the other part of our life.
Are we Yuri Jiron? Our life will. Walona Funtatanui. You say, I only won't you. Yawar. I want to send ma. Kelly Tamingura, why won't you? I was the Belena. Look, it took him. Very Catania. Very well. But no, in the road. Tawamo, Asabea. Siren, Gisela, one woro. Bamyamo, Asabea. One woro, Yenge. One woro, Yenge, Pungea.
Actress, a writer. Beautiful. Okay, once again, we welcome you.
Thank you. Yes, we've spoken about, it's like a woman who does so many things at the same time. But I think for the past couple of years, it was looking so in a cloud, just going. But now I've been able to tidy up. Charity is here and business is here. Now, my life, I don't know what you want to know about my life because I could keep everybody here forever.
You have written a story about your humble beginnings.
Yes.
Let us start from there.
Okay. Let me go back to Father John Jinti of blessed memory.
May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes. My lips got really heavy. Do you know that when I was crying in the mortuary in Shisong, people thought I was a Limbom person and they came speaking to me in Wimbom language. And I had to remind them that I'm not from Sungnen, from Kambe. It's because Father Jinti actually gave birth to this lady that can do so many things today. By bringing me to who I am. Now, in the 80s, when darkness came to my family, when my dad had left home and my mom was accused of being a witch. Rosavella we talk about today. In the 80s, she happened to have no money. She was working in her farm. She was asthmatic, and her daughter, who is my junior sister, Gisela Bidzmo, was supposed to be the last child. When Gisela was born, Gisela just suddenly started swelling. She was quite puffy, her face and everything. Mom did not have money to take her to the hospital. And One afternoon, Mom said, I have to just go and beg the doctors. So she left for the Banso Baptist Hospital. Remember, I was born and bred in Kian. It's a distance.
Yeah.
This asthmatic woman is carrying her daughter to the hospital, and she died around G. Then my mom went in the river, baptized her child, and took the dead child home. Yes, I saw her walk into our compounds crying.
A Catholic Christian.
Yes, she was very good Christian. She took me to church. She taught me how to pray. And she always told me, despite everything, prayers come first. Now, Mom is coming back with a dead child in her hands. She's crying. People all suddenly come, like when we hear somebody crying, we come, take that child, bury her. Before I realized, there was an announcement by the person, the man that I see next door who came and made an announcement. That year, 1980, there was locusts. For those who know locusts, younger people might not remember this. Locusts, we called it ngumi in my language. And swarms of it come and covered the sky. And when they landed anywhere, they ate all the crops. Now, the statement that was made about my mother was that my sister who had died, my mom had given it to witches in exchange for locusts so they can eat people's crops. Life became hell for us. This is when Faranjinti came in. Faranjinti came to Kian. There was a pilgrim association. I don't know if we still do pilgrimage in our dioceses. I was very little before the locust thing even. And he said, we sang the Bonke Sherry. Oh, Bonke Sherry, Sherry. Right. And Father said, which of these children, he was a young and dynamic father at that time, and he said, which of these children can give a speech to all these people in this hall? I put my finger up. And he looked at me. I was very short. So he picked me up and put me on the table. He always recounted this story. And I spoke to the pilgrims in Kian. God knows what I said, but Father Njinti turned around and held my hand and said, where is your mother? So he took me to my mother, who was shocked that a priest would come to her as a witch and holding her child, a witch woman's child. And he said to my mother, Mama, I want to talk for you. My mother said, okay. He said, this your child has a gift. I want to take her with me everywhere I go. I want to see this gift grow. She would change thousands of lives and leave me with this child. My mother started crying. And my mother was going like, Father, I'm a witch woman. And Father Njinti said, I will come home and see you. That journey this priest made to our home meant so much to my mother, a woman who was already seen as a witch, and a woman who had no means to bring up her two last daughters after she's lost 6. Now, before I jump back to this story, let me reveal to the public today that in January 2016, I was actually diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease. If you see me on the street today, ask me, I'll show you my legs. Polycystic kidney disease is not known. It's a rare disease. And your kidneys are inflamed. They are like boil around your kidneys. And there's no cure at the moment for polycystic kidney disease. And this polycystic kidney disease is a genetic disorder. It's a genetic disease that when you have it, you have it. You can only control it. They're still researching on this disease. Now, when I go back to Gisela, swelling, when I witness my legs swell, I now can link that child had kidney failure.
And they took it for which?
Yes, and it all made a lot of meaning to me in 2016 when I was diagnosed. Now, the UK NHS, they are doing what they call genetic testing. So they have to test anybody in my family. And this is one of the things that I'm bringing into my charity, that I'm talking about it on my blogs, on my YouTube videos to educate people. So Mama, in that time, Rosa Vela, Father Njinti came in and then took me. I kept going to the cathedral. He took me to the place in Kiko. He would ask me to talk here and there. I became Father Njinti's child. The daughter of a witch woman became the daughter of a priest. Now, my mother witnessed episodes such as going to a funeral, and after they put the corpse in the grave, somebody comes from behind because they don't understand why Mami Ngumi should be standing, and they push her on top of corpse. And my mother in this village called Kiko. She comes back home in tears. If you know our house in Kian, she's screaming in a loud voice, coming down from Soy to our house. I was the only child, sitting there, hearing my mom crying and holding me and saying, Aki wai mosai, Abba amosajad zamimbo wirilon. She was pushed in the grave. Some people were saying, bury her alive, she's the witch woman. Come on, songs were made in Saw about Rosavela. Suiver. Yes, Suiver. There you go, you even know the song. That was Rosavela we talk about today. I stood in the UK in a celebration of Ensor people and somebody give this song. They do not realize that it's my mother they are talking about. So, what does that say to a woman out there? It takes a lot for me to come back home and love my people and form organizations under my mom's name. It's simply not for you to sympathize with me. I don't need empathy. Ngamsha, bless you. You didn't look for a rich person's daughter. You came for a Mamingume's child. So my message and my endeavors are, stop calling people witches. Stop marginalizing families. When I was in Kian in the 80s, children did not play with me in school. I was expelled from government school Kian with my sister. We had to trek to government school Bamkikai because the headmaster called me at that time and said to me, I just need you to leave the school. Hatred was too much. There was a whole story for those who know. This is a funny one. Those who know VICTORIN Kishongre in Kian, that was me. Simply because during the yams harvesting season, we're having fun of, like, children say, oh, take the yams and keep in little heaps. My understanding was it's a game. But the moment they came out that we stolen the yams, what the headmaster and the teachers did was carry the bucket of yams and put in my head. There was no story I could explain because they said this is that child of that woman. And the stigma was heavy on me. Okay?
Just like I'm getting a Nigerian films that we watch.
Absolutely. And you will read in my humble beginnings, coming very soon. And the reason I've put this autobiography, any editor that have read this book, they've looked at me and they've shedded tears. And I've said to them, don't cry for me. Because you know what? The fact that I was lucky through marriage to live in Europe as well was an opportunity for me to get into universities, to study, to do what Father Njingti planted in me. He said, you are a good speaker. My public speaking started when I was 6 years old. I don't know what I said. Now, in the book, I also describe funny things like climbing on orange trees and stealing orange and cola nuts. It's a story that will bring us together. But the message, the powerful message there, even in my speeches, is not for you to sympathize with me. It's not to impress you. It's not to make you. It's for you to stop raping. Stop marginalizing. Look at people as people. If somebody has their witches, I know people in Kumbo that are going through the same experience. Because now which person this, so wanna be careful. When they went to their witch houses, you were not there. And at the end of the day, even if they are witches, I can't explain whether witchcraft is real or it's not real. But I can only tell you from the experience of my mother, a poor woman that was crying her eyes out, praying and doing everything, but was labeled a witch. So much so that somebody could walk into her own compound. Listen to this one. A gentleman could walk into this woman's house in the coffee farm and rape 2 of her daughters and turn to her and said, which woman, where can you take us to? And all this woman did was giving raw eggs to her daughters to drink. I want to leave the secret behind this for my book to come out. It has been a long journey. If I sit to speak to people, I speak to people because I want to empower you. I want to encourage you. I want you to know that no matter where life has taken you, it can never be the end because there's a God that we pray to. And God sent Father Njingti. It wasn't only Father Njingti. When my mom passed on, when I was in Form 4, luckily, thanks to Father Njingti, Sister Doris Kongla, who may be listening now, bless her, I call her my Mother Therese, who pleaded to the Shisong sisters that they sponsor me in school after all those struggles, because by the time I finished primary school, Mom was very happy and bought me a hoe. Kokesokia, this is your future. And that was when I was telling Mom, no, Mom, I can't take a hoe and go to the farm. I'll be married to a malam or whatever, go to be a woman of somebody, maybe second, third wife. I want to become somebody. Father Njingti said it. So Father Njingti stepped in and Father Cyprian Tata came in. And they carried the burden of me losing my mother, whom I thought was everything. Daddy was gone to Sabongari. And everything was my mother. So for her dying, I actually considered killing myself. And that was that year now that within the work of Father Njingti and Father Cyprian and their communities and people, Father Dan Ache, everybody was linked to these people. They're working from the back. But I can see these three people making sure that I do not kill myself. And I remember in Tabinken, Father Cyprian Tata was just ordained. He's my cousin. He picked me because he thought I would do something stupid, and I was going to do something stupid. Took me to Tabinken, kept me there. I was staying in the convent. But he realized that, for me, in those days, right?
You're making me to laugh in
I know. I was thinking of poisoning myself. And, because my mom is dead, okay? So if I poison myself, I need to look for millipede now.
Mm-hmm.
They used to say that millipede is poison. So I'll go in the sisters' farms. I didn't tell anybody, looking for millipede to kill myself, okay? And I didn't see millipede. So I decided to starve myself to death. Okay, so I will now tell the sisters that I'm eating in the sister. You know how smart when you want to commit suicide. It's very crazy. I will tell the sisters, people like Sister Ruth Go, Sister Colleen Bong, I think she's of late now. I will tell them, I'm not going to eat in the convent. I'll eat with Father Dan and Father Cyprian. Then I will stay in my room. Then I will tell Father Cyprian's cook that I'm eating in the convent. So behold, one afternoon, he came. I'd done it for 2 days, so I was really getting there. Mm-hmm. And he came, and he just happened to come to the sister's house by any chance, whatever, during lunchtime. Say, where is Victorin? Mm-hmm. Oh, she's been eating in the father's house. He said, Jesus, what's going on? He came and found me. During lunchtime, I'll be praying and telling my mother to take me, in that room where we were staying in the convent. So from that time, he said, you're going to stay in the father's house. From today, every house station I'm going to, I will take you with me. Let me bring this back to our church today. Sometimes when we see priests, always with a girl, and we think that father, they surely follow that girl. Yes, sometimes people have their stories. I was 24 hours with my cousin. Did the people in Tabiken know whether I was a cousin or not? Mm-mm. So, life teaches us that people can come in different. I just thought I'd divert to that for a bit, and make this point. I was raised by him, and the moment I was not there, he would send me to Father Njingti. And the moment I was not with Father, so I was within the church. Yeah. And within that time, I then thought, let me be a reverend sister. Because if I'm a reverend sister,
I had that thought too.
Yes, no, I actually did. Did you know? Yes, I went to the convent for 11 years.
What?
I did. Because Father Njingti has helped me as a priest. Father Cyprian has helped me as a priest. Sister Doris is a sister. Let me be a sister, then I can help the other poor people.
My mother pleaded with me not to. I was going to take care of his children, of her children, just like she was joking. She's gone ahead with my father, and sorry. Now I'm the one.
I'm sorry about your
I am the father, the mother, even taking care of my own elder brother.
Oh, bless you.
But I'm so happy that he has blessed us all.
I'm sorry about your mom. I'm really sorry. Well, about my own mother, about my own sister work now, I didn't see it as a vocation. I saw it as a charity. Mm-hmm. So I dived into the convent of the Sisters of Christ. They're here in Bambui. They might be listening. So the Reverend Sisters of Christ came to Shisong, and I wanted missionaries. Mm-hmm. But honest to God, my point was, when I get to the convent, they can give me money as well, and I can just go and help the poor people. But behold, went through Boya, Kumba, those who know Victorin Kintari and Hidangum of those times who were always going through formation. That was me. That was this Lady Bling. That was this Vicky Ngamsha. That was this woman talking to you tonight. And I applaud the Sisters of Christ. I always go to them. They're in England. I spend time in the convent. They come to my house. I went to join these sisters. I struggled to become a reverend sister. Everybody thought I would be a reverend sister. I thought it was about helping the poor people. Now, when I got in the convent, I realized that the church has hierarchy. There's a vow of chastity, poverty, and obedience. You do have to ask before you give. But I wanted to just give. It didn't work well. Before I left the convent in 2000, because I left the convent in 2000 and got married in 2001.
Oh.
It was quick.
God bless you.
God planted, not me. Although some people say my husband has sent a visa from England and then he got me out, but you know, the truth can always be known by the victim. So, no, I mean, you cannot convince everybody. But the sister has sent me to Kondengi. I had finished my novitiate. My work, part of the formative activities was Kondengi prison. And they wanted me to work alongside the Jesuit priest, going into the prison, listening to prisoners, counseling them, being there, doing commission and going to their families and trying to bring a reconciliation between them and the community. And my job as well was to go into the streets of Cameroon, say Hotel de Ville, and get street children to Foyer de l'Espérance in Volier and go to Ash, which was in Kondengi, to the Maison d'Accueil, where we keep them and then feed them. So that was my role. And then in the night, sometimes I would go to many firms and meet prostitutes and ask them why they become prostitutes. So it was a very good experience. But what happened one day was I was with this Jesuit priest, Father Kisito. He's a prisoner. He wasn't Brother Kisito. We worked together. No, not so. It's a Chadian. No, it's a Chadian. So we went to prison one afternoon, and there was this Bakassi Peninsula thing. And this lady had arrived. When they arrested them in Bakassi, they brought them to Kondengi. Yeah, she was sitting there. She was pregnant. She had no shoes on. And I was crying with her. I didn't care whatever she's done, but I saw a human being on the floor, pregnant without shoes. And if you've entered Kondengi, it's horrible. So I took off my shoes and I gave to that lady. And I went out of the prison without shoes. Then I got back to Omnisport, to our community, without shoes. Then I was cautioned by the sisters about the vow of obedience. I was supposed to come where chastity was another thing. Obedience. Where obedience, because I should have come with my shoes on,
and then you
check with sister, and then go back, or maybe they'll buy some shoes, but I need to check with my superior. Fair enough, that is true. But honest to God, that statement, then something clicked in my mind like, okay, I can't just do it then. That
even
was one.
With what you have on you, you have to take permission to give to someone.
She reminded me that I was a novice and this is how the life is. So I started thinking about it very, very seriously. I came back now and I could put my formation. I had to discern what it was all about. By leaving Yaoundé already, you know, the sisters, what a beautiful job the Sisters of Christ did was they sent me to Tatum while turning around for formation and all those 11 years. So I was already a teacher, a graduate from Tatum as a teacher. So when I'm coming to Kongsamba, I'm thinking, actually, if I leave the convent, then I start teaching, then I can just give my money to anybody. And I will not have to ask the sisters.
You don't have to ask anybody.
Yes, but getting back to Kongsamba, it was hard for me to tell them, you know, we had such a relative today, to tell them I want to leave to go and work the money and give to. I just came back and went to the chapel and I had to leave. But then that was my last formative activities. I'm coming there, welcoming me with a letter, congratulations, your first profession is in June. And I'm thinking, should I do it? Should I not do it? But because I'm thinking of the community, I just turned to my novice mistress, bless her, Sister Bertina. I said, Ma soeur, I cannot do it. Je dois partir. She thought I was joking. Something Victorine has worked for passionately. What will she tell Father Njinti? What will she tell the people? But I have to go. Okay, let us get you a place for retreat. I said, no. The way I feel, I don't want to go to a retreat to discern. Can I go home? I want to go back to my father's house. So it was so I think God was working in this decision. So now, what she said was, I'm going to call Bishop Watio of Kongsamba, because Bishop Watio was like a father to me, and Hilda. The phone, Monseigneur was in Edea, and they said, come. So they pleaded that I spend the night, so that at least I can talk to Bishop Watio before going. The next morning, they said, go to the bishop's house. When you talk to him and you are really still willing to go, then come back and we will send you home. Do you know what I did? Nobody ever knew. This was dodgy though. I went to the bishop's house, Kongsamba. I stood outside. I contemplated how... Remember that the bishop had come all the way to talk to me. I contemplated how I will really talk to him. And then he would tell me not to, or to go. I just sighed. I came back quickly, jumped on the next taxi and come home and said, Bishop was not there. So by the time my novice mistress, honestly, it was a very distressing time for them. By the time, remember, I was their first Cameroonian sister, and Vicky was who they knew. I really felt for them. But then, by the time I got back, the sisters were like, what happened? Have you seen the bishop? I said, he was not there. But I want to go now. Sister Yayansa should be listening in Bambui. She was there in the convent with me. She couldn't understand what was going on. I had to go. So they let me go. And the bishop arrived immediately after I left. I took one of the horrible buses. But yeah, that is me I'm telling about. Tonight, I came over to Kumbu straight. No, I didn't go to Kumbu. When I got to Bafusam, I calculated what I would say to Father Cyprian. All the people of Jotin, because I worked in Bimbasakeri as their sister. And I got really scared. So I took a bus straight to Yaoundé to hide with my cousin, Anthony Kifam. And when I got there, he said, so, you've left the convent. You want to come and live in my house? So Mama will be thinking that I'm the one who encouraged you. Say, just go. So I went to the Minicité in Kradat and was hiding there for a few days with my friend, Hedrin Tapong, who is in America now. And I said, Bo, now the problem is, I don't want to be sister again, but I want to go and think. You see, what I told the sisters was that I was going to go and think about it. Because I thought it would be too harsh to say I'm going. So I said, I want to go and think about it, but let me go and think about it outside in my family. And then I was hiding in Bonamosadi for a few days, and after a few days, I breathed it to come to my father and see my father. He was still living. He had come back from where he went to after Mama died. And I told him that I left the convent. Then I decided to go to a friend. You know, you always have a friend you can say to. So I went to Marion Boven and Julius Boven. Julius is the brother to my husband. And I said to them in the night, I was still having a little dress, not to cause a little confusion. And I said to them that actually I've left the convent to go and reflect. And I don't think I want to go back. I want to be teaching and helping the poor people. Little did I know that as I'm telling Julius, his brother, who is Reverend Deacon Max now, who had gone to Mayhill in England and was discontinued, he was actually asked to leave the Mayhill and missionaries. He had been talking to the brother and saying, if I ever wanted to get married, I'll get married to Vicky, who was my childhood friend. We were going to become religious.
You were just telling yourself.
Exactly. So I'm talking to them, and then they are very keen, and they say, so where are you now? I said, I'm in Yaoundé. I gave them the details of where I am and so on. So gave them headrings like telephone boat. You know, in those days, we used to go to telephone boats
to make calls.
So then they said, okay, go, don't worry. I came back to Yaoundé. The next day, I came to Yaoundé. After a few days, I went looking for the teaching now. It wasn't coming. I went back to the prison. They wouldn't take me. So I was thinking, what's going on here? I can't even get a job to help the poor people. I came back to Hedrin's student's room and I cried all night. But the next morning I had a phone call from my husband. And it was quite romantic and funny. He said to me, Vicky, yes, this is Maxwell. How did you know I'm here? Maxwell, yes, where are you? I'm in England. I said, but how did you connect? He said, Julius gave me your number. I said, okay. But somebody once said in Babete when we went for the internovitiate that you are married to a white man. He laughed and laughed and he said, Vicky, I was never married. They asked me to leave the Mayhill missionary, so I went to do my nursing. But wait, do I hear you are no longer in the convent? I said, yes. I really left, but I couldn't tell the sisters that I'm going to leave because I thought it would be too big for them. So I said, I'm reflecting, but I'm never going to go back. He said to me, then you were meant to be my wife. And that message, as he said that, he said to me, leave Yaoundé immediately. Go through Kongsamba. I'm sending you money. I'm sending you a mobile phone. Because when he said you are meant to be my wife, I said, probably that's why I'm here. But I want to give you one condition. You come back home, I'll be your wife. Because I don't like the white man culture. I want to live in Cameroon. And he thought that was like, primitive girl. So he said, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that. So he said, leave Kongsamba, leave Yaoundé, go through Kongsamba, Meet your sisters, tell them that you don't want to be a sister anymore. And then go over to Father Njingti. Do you see him coming back? Go to Father Njingti, because Father Njingti was his spiritual director as well. And tell Father Njingti what we've discussed. Tell him we've decided to get married. So I had not seen Father Njingti since I left. I went to Kongsamba and told the sisters. By the time I'm going to Kongsamba, you know what? I said to myself, they need diner 2 times. If you're dead, you're dead. So I'd gone and done my hair and changed my glasses. And I'm going to Kongsamba fashionable.
You were a society girl.
Yeah, well. And then I said to the sisters, I want to speak to the Superior General when she comes to Cameroon. So they said she was coming in 2 weeks' time. I said, yes, I just stopped to greet you, my sisters, but I'm going to Banso. But it was necessary that I come to greet you. And I will be speaking to Sister Ita Conlan, who was the superior. Then I went to Banso, straight to Father Njingti. Father, I don't want to be a sister anymore. This is something very unique about Father John Njingti. Priests or religious people will be like, there has to be a chance or whatever. Or maybe they'll tell you off. There and then I said, Father, me and Maxwell, we've decided to get married. I left, this is what happened. But I don't feel like I want to be a sister. But I want to walk in the community and be a woman in the community. He looked at me. You know he liked granules. He was peeling his granules and eating. And he said, Victorine, bring me that diary. I brought the diary. And he said, your wedding should be on the 27th of December. I am happy for you and Maxwell. I can feel it. It's going to be okay. Tell Maxwell that I've said yes to your wedding. But don't worry about going back to your sisters to tell them that you are getting married, because I will, in my capacity as your spiritual director and as Maxwell's spiritual director, I will go to your sisters and I will talk to Father Tom Sinot, who is in England, and we will do your wedding. I am happy. So go and crack on with your wedding preparations. He dropped me in Kumbu. He drove straight to Bambui, to the Sisters of Christ, and he saw Sister Kate Morton, who is with me in England now, who is like my right-hand person, my hand back. When I heard Father Njingti was dead, I actually called her. So, yeah, he then sent me, and the wedding was on, and then I got married. And that's how I came round to become marrying, going to the UK, and they started doing what we've been talking about, all these things that we've discussed today. It was after marriage, then I flew to the UK as a married person, and Father Njingti's always been alongside us to also help us as a couple. So I started from Father Njingti and I ended with Father Njingti, and that explains why I'm in Cameroon this time. It was for him.
Oh, may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
And when are you going to be launching this book?
My book will be launched. It was programmed for the 12th of December, not launching. It was supposed to be out.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we are with the publishers now. Okay. The project was to be 12th of December, will be out before my birthday.
Oh, okay.
On the 17th. But now that I had to travel, I put the project on hold.
Okay.
But I don't see it later than January, or even we can still squeeze it in December.
Okay.
Yes.
And the acting?
Acting, yes. I've signed a contract.
We have less than a few minutes to go.
Okay. I've signed a contract. It's Differ Entertainment. They're based in Bamenda, and they've taken me as the main actress. It's going to be a story. The storyline is about some people, some princesses who are about wealth and fighting about their wealth. But then Princess Mankaa, who is going to be me, is going to be able to stop them from fighting and bring peace within the family. Okay. That's what I've been told. I better not let too much out.
So that's going to be about love.
It's going to be
love that will bring the two families together.
It's going to be about no, Princess Mankaa is going to be suffering a lot.
Okay.
Within the royal family,
okay,
or the big compound, and trying to bring people together. She's going to be fighting to stop people from being so egoistic and so on. That's what they told me so far. But it's in April, first week of April.
We're really glad to know you.
Thank you.
I'm sure our public is glad to know you too, and would want to get to you. So maybe you repeat the website again. Maybe they can log in.
Yes, my website is www.vickingamsha.com, and my Facebook page, you will not miss me on Facebook. I've got Vicky Ngamsha Music, Vicky Ngamsha Lamsort Tips, Vicky Ngamsha Twitter account, LinkedIn. You see me all over because I have an IT degree, so I know social media. Then there is also rosavela.com, which covers the charity side of things
for the women,
about me.
For the women groups.
Yes, women group and any other thing that I'm going to do. I'm still doing more libraries and education centers, God willing. So public should pray for me.
Thank you very much, VICTORIN Ngamsha.
Yes.
You have been really, really, in fact, encouraging. You say you're a motivational speaker and you have motivated thousands out there. I am very sure of that already. In fact, beginning with me.
Thank you.
Because sometimes I just ask myself, what is happening? Can you not go out there and do something? You must not be with a group of people before you start something. Start alone and God will see you through.
Yeah.
We appreciate your effort. And Radio Evangelium is glad to know you.
I'm humbled to be here. It's like my own radio. It's home. It started with the Catholic Church like I started. So I'm really grateful. And I want to say to the Radio Evangelium team, Kumbo Radio Evangelium has always been my radio. Bamenda, and anything that we can do to help our radio to grow is worth it.
Thank you very much again. Dear listeners of Radio Evangelium Bamenda, that was it for Ladies Platform this day. We hope that you enjoy it. We are going to continue to bring to you more young ladies, more women from this end so that you get to know them and feel encouraged out there to do something better for yourself and maybe why not for your community. Thank you very much, and it's a shout out from this end.
Ladies Platform. She lives so she yuri. Aloke yewon awakon wun. Alo zawo puni mo won pun ben. Dayo license wun. Awa puni fo wun. Siren de ka for bem. Siren de za denyoy. Ifage shayi kon in theater. Besen shasha. Bowiri okibe bonke kongne am kuntayo di yawor puni kijung rosevela dukijung yawor iwiri ajive una tawe pukinisa auni tsweni auni iperinywe wasebe keri kitafei kiga samogan awiri rojuntu am yawo untaro Como you say, you want to roll it. There are been a rosa de la ulmati guitarre. Honey, I will kiss la pizza more. O Pamiem, you put the only veterinary. Punifo moya, punifo to the psyche. Taviga, you be chung my fight. Lie punilani, then Susan wall on Fonyoy. With the Martin young to the siphon. Mosangana dukshiki mon. Uro tong fura, uro tong taro, uro tong yewo, then kumili mimma. Illa alaising. Tibesan wagana du. Putangangin. Akatuki lummo. The rapport them jangwir bam. Very then. With the mabunri. Very then. Abon wa laising war Henry la wir wa brother